Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Paranormal Coffee Talk. I'm Crystal. And that's Carol. We have had a few busy weeks. It has been, again, nonstop preparing for this new equipment. I'm surprised Carol has any hair left because I feel like I get at least 15 phone calls a day from her saying, I'm just going to throw this thing outside. But we do have new equipment. Our original, our legendary piece will be retiring in July, and we will be moving on to the GHH REM Pod C2. So we are super excited to have that. We've just had a lot going on. We have events and just nonstop go, go, go. But we did list some new events and workshops that we will be having over the next few months. So make sure to check out our page and grab your tickets to Cajun Country Paracon next April. We will be back seeing our friends over in Louisiana. It is actually going to be in Lafayette this time. And we will be doing a workshop where you will be building your own REM pod and taking that sucker home, or you can investigate after the Paracon with it. So we have a lot of fun things. But tonight we have some amazing guests. I have been following them for years, so super excited to have them on. I'm going to play their intro video, and then we'll have them on the screen. All right, we have Mandy, and we have, I think Chastity has muted herself. There she is from Ghost Sisters. There we go. All right, how are you, ladies?
Good. We're doing good over here. Well, hot.
Awesome. How's the weather up there? Like, is it hot?
Rainy. It's done nothing but rain.
That's what I was going to say.
More rain this year than we did.
That's how every single day here. Like, it doesn't even show up on the radar. It's there.
It's been hot. So it makes it really muggy here.
Oh yeah, I think we're reaching the hundreds already. So.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, like. I'm in central Alabama, and I know yesterday it was like 94, and Carol has been about the same. So we say bring on the rain to cool us off a little bit. And it's not even July yet, so
100 and something out there. It was awful.
It was 80 today.
Ooh, that I do miss is the temps in the north in the summertime. I just don't miss the winter.
I hate winter.
Ever.
I'm with you, girlfriend. But I'll tell you what, we hardly got any snow during the winter this year. We got probably 3 things of snow. We got more rain than snow.
Yeah, wow. And see, here since moving back south, I think I've used my fireplace like twice. 2 times. Like we just don't I don't even have to. When I was up north, I had the chimney sweep coming every year and cleaning out the chimney out. No, we've done it. We haven't done it since we bought the house.
We just use it at my house to run the bats out.
The best thing about winter, for me, is the more money that I get paid. Winter is more money in my pocket. That's the only good thing. When I see snow, I see dollar signs.
Yeah, when I see snow, I see a heating pad and some Motrin.
I gotta have a break. I like the change of seasons. I couldn't be hot all year round. I just too many bugs. I'll deal with bugs for a little bit, and then I like them in the wintertime. They die off, most of them.
We're still recovering. We have bites
we're still used to it, like
from our last event
those time, and we're just still covered in nothing but what we call yellow flies down here, and we have mosquitoes. And what else did we get stung by? Horse flies. We got and honeybees.
Mosquitoes, horse flies,
the same night.
That was our last event. We got tore the heck up with all that.
Well, you should have seen our last event. Mandy got a big old spider.
Ooh, no, I don't do spiders.
Horse fly bit right here. It was just a big old thing.
No, I don't do
big wolf spiders in Kentucky, and I was like,
And and up in Kentucky, they will like completely like, and I feel like the movie Arachnophobia
That's rough.
should have been in like Kentucky
we
and
were about to
northern
leave
Tennessee.
in the middle of a storm. We were about to leave. It was like, let's get the hell up out of here.
Yeah. And in Maryland, them damn things will like fly on their webs. I ain't even gonna lie. I set my deck on fire in Maryland.
She did.
Because I walked outside. I was just enjoying a nice spring day, you know. I was like, this was back when I smoked cigarettes. I don't do that no more. I just vape. But I was smoking a cigarette, and I had my butt bucket sitting on the deck, and I saw them suckers in like thousands just flying on their webs in the backyard. And I threw that lit cigarette, not knowing my kid had some papers and an old, you know, washcloth or something in there. I set the whole deck on fire. And I left the house. My husband called me and said, "Did you know you set the deck on fire?" I'm like, "No, I'm gone." He's like, "Well, let's put it out now."
I was going to
Thank
say,
God
I
for
see
insurance,
Sean's
right?
on here. He's got a video of walking down the boardwalk at our event, and they've got this spider web. It's got this big old spider in it.
I didn't watch it. I turned it off.
Yeah, bats and spiders. I don't mind the little daddy long legs. You know, they're okay.
Yeah, like that don't bother me. But them things that I know that they just move really fast, no. Granddaddy long legs are lazy and they're slow. I can outrun those. But no. Hey, Jennifer. And then we have Brandon Cooper here.
He's a housewife.
Lovely Brandon. That he's a ghost hunting housewife.
He's got a shirt to prove it.
Yeah, he does. Let's go, Brandon. Non-political. We're going to throw that out there. The story is Brandon and my husband, Brandon, they got so sick of hearing "Let's Go Brandon" every time they turned around. So we made him a shirt in the back of my blazer at a Paracon, and it said "Let's Go Brandon" on the back of it. So he's forever a ghost hunting housewife. We have Miss Tracy here with us tonight. Yeah, she's a lovely, lovely lady. And then Sean Daniels, Suncoast Films. He does a lot of our filming and phenomenal. So anybody out there that hasn't, make sure you go give Sean Daniel a follow. And so let's talk about, you know, I've been a fan and a follower for many years of Ghost Sisters, like back in the early Euroshrine days.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's pretty awesome because I've seen you guys just like blow up, like you're everywhere, and I love it. I'm like, I was an original fan. I was OG.
Yeah. I remember when you guys started following us. Yeah.
It's been a long time. Like, cool.
Yeah.
We started Ghost Hunting Housewives in like 2020. Officially, you know, we decided that, you know, it's always just been me and Carol. So we decided, why not give us a name, you know, and do something with it. So we decided, you know, we went from being single moms to working, you know, 2 or 3 jobs to being housewives and retiring because we broke our asses. We just, our bags are broke. So, I mean,
we got bad bodies.
We decided to create Ghost Hunting Housewives. And so, you know, you guys have been all over now. You guys are, I feel like you guys probably come south more than a lot of people do.
We do. They don't know what they're missing here in the South.
Brandon's with Supernatural Inc. So, yep. And so it's been pretty awesome to see you guys just, you know, grow and become even more amazing than you were.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit of how, like, you know, anybody that has not, you know, seen you on TV or, you know, heard your stories, tell everyone a little bit about yourselves, how you got started with Ghost Sisters. We'll let you go, Mandy.
I'll say Chastity's been with me through thick and thin, whether she wanted to do it or not. I'll hand it to my sisters, you know, Chastity.
And she will complain at 4:00 in the morning anyways, but she's still there.
Too cold.
Again, OG Ghost Sister fan right here, okay?
I had my doctor today ask me about Ghost Sisters. He says, now, do you guys
That's it.
But yeah, it all started with me. I'll just make it short and sweet. I've been dealing with things since I was a kid, and after I lost my brother, that seemed to really picked up for me when my brother, when he had passed away, not by choice, but and then I started having things going on since I was probably about 9 or 10. I started noticing things, but it really picked up after he passed. That's when it really kicked up for me. And it just never stopped. It seemed like as I was in my teenage years, I would sense some spirit around me. I've even felt them crawl in bed with me when I was a teenager. And it really scared me because I knew somebody crawled in bed, It was scary. So just things like that throughout my life as I got older. Wherever I lived, I always had an experience. I was just always drawn to it too. My family, I always listened to my grandma or my aunt talk about ghost stories. It was always scary and like intriguing to me, And then I just, I just thought, well, I ended up starting my mediumship, and I thought, you know what? Because I always wanted to go to the Mansfield prison. And back in 2006 and 7, back then there was a waiting list. I mean, it was like a year to get in there, and you had to pay to fill out an application to get into that place.
Yep. Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I ain't never going to get in there, right? So over the years, about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to check this out again. I just felt like I wanted to check it out. And they were doing private investigations, public investigations. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I got my ticket. And then I'm like, I ain't got no friends that's going to go with me on something like this. Who am I going to get to go with me? Call up my sister, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. And she's like, are you serious? She started arguing with me. I'm like, look, it's going to be fun. I said, just get your ass a ticket, and we're going to go have fun. And we went live. We didn't know what we were doing. We're live on my Facebook, and people were like jumping on, like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're at this prison, But little did I know that I actually ordered me some equipment, because I was watching shows. I watched Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and all them. So I seen these equipment. I thought, well, if I'm going to go on this, then I got to have some equipment. So I was working in law enforcement at the time. So my sergeant let me wear his GoPro. I had bought the SB7 Spirit Box and the geophone. Yeah. And we had a flashlight, and we just did our thing. And
that is truly the way it starts. And that's one reason, like at our workshops, we call it frugal ghost hunting, because you don't need thousands of dollars worth of equipment to get started. I mean, we have cases upon cases upon cases.
We don't use it.
22 years of investigating, just the two of us, and we fill up 2 vehicles and we don't even use half of it. Like what's in our backpack, we carry all over. If there's something we want to try or test out, then we'll go back to base station. But, we start out with just the, you can start out with a balloon and it'd be just fine,
But it was crazy because we had a blast. It was really good. But little did I know that when my sergeant reviewed the camera, the recordings for us, and I remember him sending me a message. He said, hey, you guys got something, like right in the beginning. And I'm like, all excited, like, really? Like, what did we get, And sent me the clip of what it was. And I was like, oh my God, is that really what I think it is? And see, Chastity and I snuck off in solitary before they let us begin the investigations. And we were down there with lights on, and we're looking all around, And anyway, we ended up capturing what was the guard, Frank, down there. And he was down there pacing back and forth. And we even caught a shadow figure in the middle of the hallway. And it was crazy. But, and after capturing that, something told me to keep that. You know, it was almost like Spirit was telling me, don't lose this clip. Don't lose. I was like, I just got to keep this, man. I don't want to lose it. So I had like I had it saved on a file. So anyway, a week goes by after investigating. And I was at work, and me and this other girl that used to be on my team were talking, and I'm like, look, I said, I think I'm going to start a team, you know, and she's like, Mandy, I'll join you. I'm like, okay, cool. I get more people. So I call up Cassidy, you know, and I said, hey, starting up a team and you're joining. And she was like,
No choice.
You don't have a choice. That's pretty much how it is.
So
That is
what happened, guys.
that's how it goes. And you know, and here Chess is like, okay.
But the cool part is,
I must.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I didn't think it was going to turn into a forever ghost sister.
But the cool part is that video ended up landing us on Ghost Brothers.
Yes. Oh, nice.
And that was like, I think that's why Spirit kept telling me, like, I feel like I was meant to keep that because of what had happened, how it all played out. And it wasn't because I was a paranormal investigator that got me on there. It was the fact that I worked in law enforcement that got me on there.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the clip you kept or anything. It was because of your lifestyle and your experience in life.
Yep.
That's and so it's like, you know, I try not to jump ahead because I'm pretty excited about this one because I know the little ins and outs and all the little secrets and everything. So I'm not going to give away everything. But Brandon Cooper wants to know what's y'all's favorite piece of equipment.
Ooh, I've got a few. I like my 3D SLS camera, and I love my Spirit boxes. Those are my main ones. And I do like my new recorder because it's one of those really good, sensitive ones, and it is really good. But those are my main ones right there. Mm-hmm. My Spirit boxes, my intercom box, and my the ink box made by Katie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that Brandon's like waiting for you to say ink box.
I talk a lot about those two boxes.
Yeah. And actually it was it's interesting that Brandon's on here because when I talked to Brandon last year at the Paracon, we were actually talking about the ink box, and I had mentioned at one of the events that you and Jen were actually, it was the investigation that you were doing in with another team that I won't mention. I'll just mention one of them, and we love her. And so we were talking about Preacher James that kept coming through, and then you guys had left. It was another bar. I don't remember the exact details of where you guys were at, but I do remember that it was another bar. And so I think even Chastity was there, but and Preacher James kept coming through, and it was I thought it was quite interesting. Like, yeah, I said, Mandy and them, they Ghost Sisters, they use their ink box, and they're always getting Preacher James coming through on that original one. You could be anywhere and you're still gonna get Preacher James.
Well, yeah, he like takes over. He'll try to take over the ink box. You know, it's like let the other spirits talk.
He'd go from giving you a sermon to cussing you out in like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Kind of like my attitude, but you know. Chastity, tell us a little bit. We know that you're just being pulled here, and you're just, you know, smiling, and you know.
Of course. I see her arm over there. She holds
sister shirt. You really didn't have a choice. So she already gave us the whole spiel of how you didn't have a choice in any of this, but you're here and you're smiling and you're wearing your Ghost Sister shirt. So
yeah, I don't. It's sometimes it can be really interesting, like when we really get something like the other weekend, the other night we got something that really freaked everybody out. It was like, what?
Yeah. Kept you awake on that one.
It was a wow moment. She didn't see a spirit, but she heard spirit. And she's always saying, I want my wow moment. I want my wow moment. Well, I said, you got your wow moment, because you know that spirit literally walked. It's like it came into the room, and we all heard it. It was. And
Sean just asked, "What was your most frightening experience?"
I don't know. I don't think I've really had a really frightening experience, to be honest. Not enough to where I'm like, I gotta get the hell up out of here kind of experience.
We haven't had like a really bad one. I think the closest thing we had was the night we heard something coming up the stairs at the Poly jail.
Mandy,
was terrifying.
Mandy had one.
That was scary because we were alone and it was just women in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere.
And not a very good town. Let's
Yeah,
just
and
say
a
that.
thunderstorm, and you can just hear boots just bam, bam, bam coming straight
All the way
up
up
to
and
us,
down.
and we're like, "What the hell?" But no one was there.
That, and then when we were rushed in St. Francisville. So we've never really had that, like, oh my gosh, start screaming due to the dead. I mean, we've had some things that were terrifying from the living, but not the dead, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, one of my favorite experiences was, and I always seem to forget about that one. I don't know, it's because it's been 3 years, but it happened. Jenny was with us, and that was at the that funeral home in Cincinnati. And Jenny and I was going downstairs to get these cameras and the recorder. And I actually just posted a reel on Ghost Sisters about it. And it was us 4 ladies there. It was Bobby Joe, Chastity, and Jenny and I. It was the Broadwell funeral home. Thank you, Jenny. Because I forgot. I cannot remember that for nothing. We were going downstairs to get the one camera we had set up down there and to get my recorder. And Bobby Joe and Chastity was upstairs packing up the equipment. And I'm leading the way down. Jenny's behind me. And we get about halfway down these stairs. And I pause because I hear two different disembodied male voices. I heard one guy, and you can hear him on my recorder. He goes, "Hey, ladies." And then you hear another guy, kind of not as loud as the first one was, but you hear him. He's, "Get out of my house." And then
I remember this one.
it sounded like something was charging at us.
Yeah, that's what happened with us. It felt like we were being rushed.
That scared me. And
I think for anybody who, anybody who's new, go back and watch some of the older 2 to 3 year ago content. Just go do it and like all of them and share it out. But I mean, so now Chastity, you could jump in here, but does it seem like when, you get Mandy and Jen together, like some of the craziest shit happens, like at the shrine? When they're down there and they're just recording and all of a sudden the door just like slams.
Yeah.
Like
I know that night Jenny ended up getting smacked by the spirit.
Oh shit!
I'm talking about the Broadwell funeral home. That night when I took off running, Jenny ended up getting
slapped
look
across
like scratches or smacked, but we didn't know it till the next day. But I know what you're talking about, and that's you're talking about at the Euro Shrine.
Yeah, at the shrine.
I wasn't. I don't remember that when I wasn't there when that happened.
Yeah, so it just seems like it's kind of like you put them together and they're like, it's like
because they know them guys can see them and hear them. So
you put a witch and a medium together.
Yeah,
and you shit goes crazy. Like I know that I was probably one, and like there was probably like 20 of us back then, and you guys are going down and Seeker James is on there with us. And, we're sitting there like, don't go down there. Don't go in the tunnel. And there they go in the tunnel. And I'm like, oh, we'll do it.
I know. Yeah. And the energy. Yeah. I believe it is about the energy. Jenny's right.
I do.
But, with Jenny, with her ancestors and stuff, her background, and then with me, I just think they're like, and they're always at the Euro Shrine. They'll come through the ink box and you'll hear them say sisters. And they'll be like, wow. Witch. Yeah. Are they talking about you?
And that was like, I think one of my favorite ones was when all of you were there and all the torches were lit up outside and the masks were out there. And you guys were, it was like some amazing evidence because you guys were all standing in front of a certain location.
That was the Earth Gate. Yeah. The Earth Gate.
Yep. And so like that's one of the ones that I was like, that place just, when you guys were just all standing there in that circle, the flames and everything, the energy that I felt coming off of that was just like it was unexplainable. just
and
unexplained.
that was built for the witches.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
Feel it, it's like
you got me out there. So, and depending on the time frame too, they might have considered a medium, a witch back in the day. So
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Jenny, and then you got me, and then it's just boom, boom, boom at that place.
Brandon Cooper wants to know if y'all have an echo. No.
Do I have an echo?
No, I don't hear any echoes.
That we're echoing.
I don't hear any echoes. Not on my end, Brandon.
Is it me?
Unless you want to come back and backstage and engineer for us, you could do that too. We don't hear anything. So we're going to go back up to New Light. New Light want Paranormal. If you had the opportunity to ask a spirit anything and they had to answer you, who would you want to come through and what would you ask?
I'd ask God, what's life like on the other side?
I'd want to talk to my family members if they're talking about anybody.
Yeah.
I'd want to talk to my brother.
Yeah,
me too.
But what's really interesting? That ink box is so freaking amazing. Now listen to this. We were filming with Paranormal Reality TV, and Brett Griffith from Ghost Hunters, he used to be on that. And when we were filming with them, he loved the ink box so much because of all the clarity and the cool, intelligent responses that was coming through the ink box. He ended up getting one. Now, what was really interesting was that ink box said, God has one. I kid you not. It came through clear as day. And he was so fascinated when Spirit said God has one. And he was like, what? What'd you just say?
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to my brother too, because we were close.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, I think that would also, that's like especially those of us that are older, we've lost so many people. I again had tragedy and loss, my dad, biological mother, siblings, cousins, and they all passed away the same way. But you just want that, you want to be able to, especially when we're talking to strangers and spirits that are strangers, and we're getting messages from, people that we did not know in our living life, that in this lifetime, we want to talk to those. And I feel like
we do have a friend that tends to follow us around.
Yeah, we have a couple of those that passed away. We have 2 now. And they tend to follow us around, and we know it's one of them because we called him Catfish, and it's actually come across as Catfish when we're doing even EVP. It's like,
well, I get a lot of family that comes through my ink box. I've had my stepfather numerous times come through my box and say, Mandy, and I'm like, captured it clear as day.
See,
and
we
that's
gotta get one of those.
Yeah, the ink box. Yeah.
Well,
I know,
when we take it, they don't always work, which is odd. It's like sometimes it'll pick that up, sometimes it'll pick up the.
Well, it always seems to pick up the FM station, but for shortwave, sometimes the shortwave, it just depends on what type of place we're in. If it's brick buildings, sometimes I have a hard time with the connection. But when that box won't work, that's when I turn on the intercom box, and then I'll still get communication from Spirit.
Yeah.
So those 2 boxes are really good.
Yeah, we've Brandon's supposed to be getting us the Inkbox S.
You want the OG? You want to get the original?
I know. I said I wanted the OG, but I was told that they don't have any for us. So Katie, if you're listening, we need the OG. Okay.
Tell him you want one made like the original.
Party, please.
The OG's sitting right here with me.
You do. You definitely and it's I've said it, for years, when you two are, and so seeing you guys, back and coming back south again, and I love it. I love it. It's like such a different, when all of you are together though, it's like, even with Jen, it's like there is this, it's an energy that It's just unexplainable sometimes.
You guys
So,
need to come to the swamp.
you
Oh,
guys need to
yeah.
come down to the swamps.
Let's go to
Go down to Myrtles and take you
yeah,
over
to get us
to.
on a we need. I'd love to go to a plantation.
We got
Yeah.
those.
Tons
We
of
got
them.
We
Tons
got
of them.
those.
ladies
Tell
and
us which
girls
one.
plantation.
Yeah, we've got so many plantations that we've gone to. Myrtles is our favorite. We love going to Myrtles because that place you just never know what you're gonna get. And we've we Louisiana Spirits, who we work with very closely. They bring us in on some stuff, and we love the plantations in Louisiana. When you go into Louisiana, it's like a different energy altogether. You can feel the energy there. So I know you
I think
can.
we like Myrtles because we get to go over to the Episcopal Church.
Yeah, the Grace Episcopal Church in St. Francisville, Louisiana, which is where Myrtles is at.
It's
And
not just a cemetery.
but the thing about it is there's so many people want to go to Myrtles because it's Myrtles Plantation. Everybody knows about Myrtles Plantation. It's one of the infamous places in the South. But I would rather spend time at the cemetery because the cemetery is where the Civil War took place. And actually the only time in the history of the Civil War where it stopped to bury a Union soldier. And so it happened in this cemetery. And we've gotten everything from children playing hide and seek behind headstones. Like
That
you can
place
see
is
their little
crazy.
shadow figures popping up behind the headstones. It's a different energy. And Carol and I just go out by ourselves. It's just the two of us in this big open.
And you know how sometimes you'll go to places you don't get anything. Not this place. Every single
Well,
time.
that's good, ladies, because Chastity gets bored easily. Let me tell you. We'll be in a room for 5 minutes and she's yawning, and I'm like, good Lord. You know,
Chastity, you'd like it there. You'd like it
We'll
there.
bring you a pillar or something. That we'll get on.
she's like, well, we ain't getting anything in here. We've been in there 5 minutes and she's ready to move on. I'm like, Chas.
Hey, you never know. We might be missing out on something somewhere else.
Yeah, but I'm that way too, though. Like if I don't get the energy that I feel like I need in that room, I'm like, yeah, we'll come back to this later. You know what I mean? And I get bored with. There's nothing right now. We'll come back later.
What
And
we
that's
do,
how it is at, like at the poly jail too.
but we'll also be like, all right, there's nothing here. We're kind of like talking to them or talking at them. There's nothing in here. We're leaving. We're gonna go. And then what was it? One time we had one. I think we were in the women's cell, and we were talking. Well, we're fixing to go upstairs because there's nothing going on here. Well, we didn't hear it then, but the next night when we were listening to everything, it said, "Come on up,
come on up." And that one, you would love that one. Yeah, you would love Poly Jail. It is the most primitive investigation location.
Where's it at?
It's in Union Springs, Alabama. Shane Pittman searchers, they're not very far from it, and they've done a few events over there. But that's that you get that one location that's just your home base location. Yeah, that's Poly Jail for us. And
I love going to the prisons and jails.
Mm-hmm. There's no electricity running through it. There's no water. We literally have to go to the courthouse across the street to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we get the whole place all night, and we just don't do it during the summer anymore because we did that in 100.
Lost 12 pounds last summer in one night
because it was so hot. But hi, Pam.
I've been wanting to go there. I love working in law enforcement. I love going to the prisons because I feel like I can talk to them just like
exactly. And we actually have Tuck, who has investigated Poly Jail with us. She was prior corrections officer, and they, so she would talk to them in the lingo that she would if she was in, and they would just be like, like things started going crazy in there. EVPs, all the equipment was going off. It's like.
I got a vest too that I like to wear when I go to jails or prisons.
Yeah, and the handcuffs, the teeth of the handcuffs, that sends equipment off sometimes too. It's insane when we go there. So we'll have to get you guys to the Poly Jail. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun there. It's always something neat. And the last couple times it hasn't been as active, but there's still stuff. And I think it's because there's so many people and they're used to us. Yeah, you guys, we're gonna plan it. Y'all just come on south. We'll
I just
plan.
have to have I have to have notice. So I put on my
So
schedule.
I gotta give this one a notice. Bobby Joe, I'm sure she wouldn't mind going. We just have to do it on a weekend when she's her week off. If we could.
We'll definitely plan it. We have quite a few different locations, and I can get with Louisiana Spirits too. And they have a lot of other locations.
You guys would love them too. They're awesome.
Yeah.
What's the cost on those locations?
It just varies. Some of them are like the poly gel. I mean, it's like 75 to 100, depending on how many people. That's for all night from all day Saturday to 8 o'clock on Sunday morning.
So some people spend the night there.
Oh yeah, and there's like bunks in poly gel. So
now, I know there's some big bugs there.
There are big bugs.
Manny don't do bugs, but she'll do ghosts.
Oh no!
But we have attempted to stay overnight in the jail numerous times. We end up leaving about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning because either it's so humid the walls are sweating. There's bugs in there flying around.
It was a bad thunderstorm.
Or a bad thunderstorm.
We would have had pneumonia if we slept there that night.
Yeah.
We slept in the car.
Blazer.
That I might do. That I'd sleep outside.
We slept in the car because I was like, the walls were there was water everywhere and it was storming like crazy. And I'm like, we're going to have pneumonia. Nah. Yeah. So we slept in the Blazer.
Yeah. We
do this. I'm down.
Jen's down too. She said would love to go to a plantation. So
I've never been to a plantation.
Well, there's a place here is River Road, and it's nothing but plantations.
Yeah.
Holy hell!
Just
miles and miles.
Now, do you guys have connections to get in, or what's
some?
Like Myrtles is very difficult to get into. We actually book the way that we work Myrtles is we book the Woodruff suite or the winter suite, and then that way we get the whole house by booking 2 suites. And so there is cabins out there. Myrtles is definitely one of the top that we tell everybody. If you're going to do a plantation, go ahead and do Myrtles because that's what everyone goes to Myrtles for.
There's another really pretty one. I think they might have tours there, but the Rosedown, they
can't stay there. They don't allow. It's owned. We have not got approval through the state parks for Rosedown.
Yeah. But just to go during the day or whatnot with pictures and stuff, that place is beautiful.
Yeah.
The grounds and everything.
Yeah, definitely. They have that one. Then we have Homa House over in Homa.
Awesome as well.
Yeah. So there's quite a few different ones just immediately around Baton Rouge area. We've got a lot of places over in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. So we just keep it, just keep going, just keep hunting and finding new places.
I know. I love new locations. Definitely.
Yeah. That's our favorite. And that's what I tell everyone. Like we go to some places like that are very well known, but that's not for what we don't want to go to many places like that. Trails, we want to go we want to actually hunt for something and see what we can find instead of knowing the history and knowing the background. Give me a place that I know nothing about.
I don't like to know anything about locations when I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Sean said, Myrtles, St. Francisville, the whole town is haunted. Like literally everything about that town it's definitely amazing.
It's a small little place, and this one street is so cute. It's got all the little shops on each side. You could literally walk up and down, and that's the same street that the church is on as well. But yeah, everything's haunted there.
Oh, yeah, you guys would love St. Francisville.
Guys.
Do what?
Can you hear me good?
We're good.
Yeah.
It
can
looked
hear
like
you.
my internet cut out.
Oh,
No,
It's storming
I
here. It's bad.
haven't any
Storming.
glitches or anything.
Chastity froze. She's all puckered up. Look,
She getting bored already.
you were
Lord.
Am I froze?
You're not frozen. You just look like you are. You look very bored right now.
Right.
It's like, oh, time to move to another room.
No, just it's hard for me to sit this long because it kills my neck.
I tell you what, I'm sitting here thinking, I might go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. I might be back in a minute.
It's like trying
You
to
get to, like,
stretch it
wanna
out.
be-
I got bulging disc in my neck and a cyst in my neck, so it's really hard to
See
sit.
that
Oh,
I
yeah.
have the degenerative disc, so I got a chair that's got like one of those pillows to go on my neck. So when I sit, I recline my computer chair and everything. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I need.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time sitting too. That's why I'm constantly
Me too. You ain't noticed. That's what I'm constantly doing.
that, and I have to pee. So there's that.
Chastity sounds like a robot.
Oh, she froze. Oh wait, no, she's not. frozen.
It might be going back because it's storming bad here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's coming down.
Yeah, it has been, it's just such a everyone's good. I see everyone blinking. We're all good.
Oh, you're saying we're froze.
It's freezing on my side. So
Yeah. So what do you guys have coming up? What do you want the world to know? You got any events coming up or fun investigations coming back south to the shrine? I think we lost Mandy.
You guys all.
Oh yeah, we're gonna lose her.
We're losing her.
I think
Unless she's
maybe
faking.
Nikki's going to the shrine Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah, I saw that Jen and Mandy said they were headed south. So
I ain't going, but they're going.
So tell us what your favorite place is, Chastity. What's your favorite place? Because Mandy's over here frozen.
All sweet and innocent looking.
My favorite place, I don't really have a favorite place, to be honest. I just,
Yeah.
She tells me where to go, and I just show up.
You just
Yeah, I
go.
couldn't even tell you the names of some of the places we've been at, other than the ones that's here in Marion.
I think that's why you've always been my favorite, Chastity. It's just like, I don't fucking care. It's just like, do I have?
Okay,
Do
well
I
then she's
have,
not like me because I'm always like,
know-
Crystal, did we do that? Crystal, Crystal, do we know them? Have we?
Yeah,
been there?
it's like, do we know them? Have we been to that place
Have
before?
we been there? Do we have anything going on this week? And she's
Yeah.
got a day calendar, but I'm like, yeah, well,
I'm like the major planner. Like I have everything. Like we have events coming up next year already in Paracons. And I'm like, we got a hotel. We got to know where we're going to eat at. Like I got to know it all. It's all got to be on.
Yeah, I run two businesses and I do this part time, and I'm like, you can't just spare out the moment. Oh, I need you to come here. I need notice so I can put it on my calendar and block it.
I have so many calendars. I have 3 on my phone. I've got my big one here. I got cards everywhere. I homeschool the kids.
I don't even know half of what this crap is in this one I have right here. I think it's for 3D printing.
There she is. She's back. And so it's kind of like, getting all of that figured out. My husband's still active duty in the military. So I got to know when he's going TDY and where he's going to go. And so I'm like, no, that I can't do it. There's a lot of things that I say, sorry, I can't do that. I can't be there.
I know. I don't know how you do it. Yesterday I was like, I had 2 appointments and I had both ladies mixed up. I thought one was at the one time and I was like, oh, how in the world did I do that? I do that with time zone. This time was not a time zone difference.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't blame that.
Yeah.
We've only had a time zone different screw up once. That was it last year? Going to Jasper. We forgot.
That was this year.
Was it this
Yeah.
year? See what I'm saying? I have to ask her all the time.
Those time zones get me.
She'll be like, I told you yesterday. I was like, you could have told me 5
And
minutes.
I'm the one with the traumatic brain injury.
I know, but I'm old, dang it.
Well, I hit my head against the pavement at 65 miles per hour.
Well, I hit my head too, but not on the pavement.
So you guys have
forgot.
I think Mandy's in twice.
She's really struggling, ain't she?
She
She's really, looks like she's in the bathroom.
We're gonna throw all of you up there, Mandy. You're frozen over here again.
Am I back? Am I good?
You're good.
Am I
All right.
am I
We're
like,
gonna remove that screen. I think that one's gone. Yeah, I think you're back. So
Okay.
we were talking about events. What events you guys have coming up? Where will people see you at this year? The remainder
That's
of the year.
what I thought you were talking about. So I couldn't hear everything. It was like all of a sudden I lost connection. My
You
internet
look
went back.
very stoic though. You were just like
You were like,
you were just frozen like that. So
Usually when I get frozen, I'm like,
yeah, me too. Exactly. She was all graceful, and I'm all like,
always so graceful.
like, you know, it's like you posed at the perfect time and you planned it all out.
Actually, Jenny and I are heading back to Tennessee this weekend. We're going to I forget what that's called, the Scare Horror Network.
Smoky Mountain Terror. Smoky Mountain Terror.
Mountain Scare thing. Yeah. So
Yeah, Smoky
Jenny and I will be to that all weekend. And we're going to try to see if we can swing by the Ewer Shrine and do an investigation too.
You hear that?
Yeah, that was.
Did you hear this thunderstorm?
I heard
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
It sounded like somebody just went up to a microphone and blew right into it.
I have my window
Is that
open.
your stomach? You need to go eat.
And my window
Well, fact
open.
says you're multiplying, Mandy. So you guys will be at Smoky Mountain Terror. That's
Yeah.
we're gonna
And
try to
I
get
don't
there.
usually go to events like that. I've only been to 2 of them. So this is new for me, because nothing against going to events or anything. I just don't go to a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this one though.
We try to limit it to 3 to 4 a year. That's the max that we do. And you know, it's very well, we sell equipment too. So when we have equipment sales, we like to show face and network and talk to others that are doing the same thing. But you know, so we do 4 Paracons a year, or you know, something that has to do with historical research or something. But we don't do many. Not for us. We don't want to travel that much. We stay in one area.
I'm
We
tired
used to
of
set up
traveling.
in our hometown every year at the festival, and we're the only paranormal team that sets up there, and it's a big one. It's really big for us. We do a lot of marketing, and I do my mediumship readings, and it's a long 3 days.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah.
But it's fun.
See, I think it's more that, you know, when you do those events, it's almost, especially the long weekend events, you get that psychic hangover.
They drain you.
It drains you.
I'm
And
all day nonstop, it seems like.
and then by the time that the end of Sunday or whatever day it ends rolls around, and then I've got to drive all the way back home, and I've got this hangover like I've been binge drinking for a week. No.
We don't even drink anymore.
Oh boy, we do.
We're not against it. We just don't do it.
Brandon provides vendor table security. So if you ever need security at a table, Brandon Cooper is the person. He's the one that's always got your 6 in any location. So we've had to put an alpha male in their place.
We've had to use Brandon services before.
And so Brandon we had to hire Brandon as security at that event, and that's how he became our coop. So our little Nomeo.
A lot of people know us in our hometown. So and me working in law enforcement, so I do get a lot of people that I would deal with. But my husband works in law enforcement, so he's usually up there with me. So so he's
that's good though. You know, it's like down south we don't get that. Down south it's like that one was a loud one, Chastity.
I was sitting here waiting on it. I was like,
in the South, we don't really have that option. If we're seen out in public, it's bad. Like they don't, it's frowned upon a lot in the South. We're demon chasers and a bunch of other things. Oh yes. The South is really, really bad. The Bible Belt states. Yes. It is really bad.
Shrines like right there in the center of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just like at events, though, they don't like chase us around. There goes my
they stand outside of the events and protest
that
we're going to hell.
I gotta go plug that thing in.
Yeah.
Dang, Chastity, we never have that, do we?
No.
And that's the one thing I do miss about the northern states is we didn't have that. Like we could go to metaphysical markets every weekend. Like it wasn't frowned upon. Here we had a couple that are here locally to me, and they were at an event, and because of what they believe and because of their metaphysical store, people were trying to shut them down. Like it's awful.
What was it, Pensacola?
Yeah, Pensacola was protesting us. They were standing outside with like megaphones and screaming at us, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, it's funny. They're mighty awfully judgy for Christians.
Okay. Wolfpack would like to know, even Jen, you're included in this as well, if you're still on here. Would you be willing to allow me to add your teams to the merch shirt exchange idea? The idea is you exchange shirts with teams you work with or any other merch you decide. So you can get with Wolfpack Paranormal if you guys would like to do that. Rosemary Jerry James says hi, Ghost Sisters and everyone. Wolfpack says hi. And Jen says yes. I'm not sure what Jen said yes about, but yes.
It's a big yes.
It's a big yes.
I think she was saying yes to his question.
Oh, that you're here. Oh, awesome. Definitely. Sounds good. Yeah, so we'll have to get some stuff planned for you guys down here, and we'll do it in locations that know us and we won't hear anything. We won't put you guys in that kind of predicament, because it does get definitely crazy in some of these locations that we're from. They don't. And this is like the last one that we went to that had protests was like a big city. It was like Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah.
And they're standing outside of the fairgrounds.
But
yeah.
It's not like they do it at those places that they know something's going on. If we're like going to go somewhere to investigate, they don't know. So they don't show up. So it's nothing you really have to worry about.
Yeah. So
we'll just have people when they know we're going around here, they'll just
show
go
up
by walking, or we had one time Chastity and I was in Upper Sandusky, and I forget what the place was we were investigating, but these people went by and turned on the jukebox Ghostbusters song.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Brandon says we need to go to Hagwood Mill. That's in South Carolina. He's got a great location, and he's got a Paracon. Drop that information for me, Brandon, about the event next spring, and also need to know and confirm if we need to be there or not. He's got a location, Hagwood Mill, and Miranda Young was actually there last season of Ghost Biker, and did an investigation. It is phenomenal. So
have you guys met Miranda?
Miranda Young. She's
you'd love her.
Love
her and Chris Summer.
Mm-hmm. They're fabulous. They have the historic Scotts County Jail in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's a great location and great people, like fabulous people. And we'll pack that they've messaged you. Yeah, it is. Chastity has made it through the night without losing anything. She's got
every time I hear it, and I'm like, is that her stomach? Is it the storm? The first time I was like, dang, you need to eat, girl.
You need some dinner, girl.
It's not my stomach.
Come on down here. We'll feed you. We'll get you some food grilled. Hey, that's one thing we tell everybody in the South is that we'll feed you. Just come on down.
Be hungry.
Be honest, though. When you hear the Ghostbusters theme as Parapeeps, you almost have to stand up with your hand on your heart like this.
And honestly, I think that a lot of people do. Like even my son, he's 9, and he's just like all about everything Ghostbusters. That and Ghost Hunters, and he's been watching it since he was like 2. So he's
My
like the perfect.
grandbaby loves it. She's 8 years old. She
Yeah.
loves it.
And see,
Every
that's
time
what I get.
she'll be on the school bus yelling at everybody, my mama's a ghost sister.
We got grandkids, and they're all girls, man. We
You
got
guys,
all
honestly,
girls.
people go to like my YouTube channel. They're like, "Oh, you guys have a lot of viewers." I was like, "That's just my son. He just sits there and watches us on YouTube." But
Oh,
he
sneakers
was
on.
a baby. He'd go up to Carol, and he has his gifts as well. It's things that have been passed down through our family. And so he'd go up at like a year and a half, and he'd look at Carol and be like, "Hey, Caro, you see a ghost? It pooky." So, he loves it. It's just always been, a part of him. And
Well,
He
we
says-
got Chastity dancing. She's our when we set up at our hometown at the festival, we have loud music at our stand, and Chastity will get up and dance in front of our stand and shit. Like she draws in the crowd. They'll be like, "What's going on over here?" She's up there just getting down, and we've recorded her.
that's awesome.
Ghostbusters. She always plays Ghostbusters. And what's the other one you're always playing?
Somebody's watching me.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Ghostbusters. I don't understand how anybody can listen to that without wanting to shake a tail feather. I don't. Get it.
I know.
Yeah, she'll be shaking that tail feather, all right.
It's wonderful. Seeker says hi to Jen. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Chastity. Seeker has helped so many people. We love you, Seeker James. But yeah, we're going to wind it down. It's been fabulous having you ladies on here. I don't want to keep you because apparently you guys got some really bad weather.
Yeah, my son's up from Tennessee, so he just got
Oh,
back
yeah.
here. So I want to go spend some time with him. He's leaving tomorrow.
Definitely. We'll have to plan it again. We'll get together and plan some of the plantations and the jails here in the South and get it planned out. And before it gets too maybe late in the year, early next year, because you don't want to do it in the summer, too hot. So we'll get it planned out. It was fabulous having you guys
Yes,
on
thank
here.
you for coming in.
And we will have to do this again. So you guys let us know if you need anything. And if we make it up there, it'll probably be in a warm month because we, again, don't do the snow. But so we'll have to plan something, get some events on the books for you guys down here and let you guys explore Louisiana.
Come shake your tail feathers.
That was nice.
That was down in Nolens, y'all.
It was nice meeting you, ladies.
It was nice
meeting
meeting
y'all
you
too.
guys too. And y'all take care and we will chat soon.
Thanks for having us on. You take
Thank
care.
you. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone.
Ghosting out.
Goes to them.